Hey friends, welcome back to my table. I've got my favorite markers out. I'm going to get into this page and I want to dive into a topic that's been on my mind, and it's about real self care. We talk about self care being the cozy stuff, the naps, the glass of wine, the favorite book, listening to music, or just having a quiet moment drinking coffee. And these things are necessary. Absolutely. Not taking that away. But let's be honest, that's the easy part of self care. The hardest, most vital, and most beautiful kind of self care is the emotional kind. It's when you don't feel cozy. It's the care you put into your inner world so that you don't snap at the people you love or sabotage your own peace. Let's talk about the problem and the first step of self care. Because think about it. I could spend a day, about an hour, putting on a face mask, doing a manicure. But if I immediately spiral into panic when my phone battery dies, did I really care for my whole self? Not really, right? The goal isn't just to feel temporarily good. The goal is to be emotionally resilient, to know how to feel things without letting these feelings drive the car. That's going to lead to me or to us to taking the first crucial step. That's the pause and name it, is what I call it. This is helping me because I'm not truly, quote unquote, cured or free from having, you know, anxiety or snapping on people from time to time. And yes, I act out. I let my emotions take control. I do act out emotionally sometimes. I don't always think level headed and rationalize. So this is for me as well, but this is something that I'm practicing, and it's the pause and name it. When that frustration hits me, or that bit of rage or annoyance, that urge to just react and respond, you have to create a tiny bit of space, just a breath, 3 seconds, and then you name that emotion. That is defensiveness. That is fear. That is annoyance or anger. Naming it is the first act of self control, and it stops the runaway train, which is you, which is me. Now let's talk about the deep dive introduction, the why question. Now this is where we get to the real goal, the place where lasting change hopefully happens for us all. After you name it, you have to ask yourself the big question: why? Why did that tiny thing, that slow driver, that critical comment, that mistake trigger such a huge, overwhelming reaction in me? Because 9 times out of 10, that surface emotion, that anger, that sadness is just a shield. It's protecting a deeper, scarier wound. And for most of us, those root wounds fall into three main categories. Let's look at these and see how these triggers pop up in our life. Okay, for me, I'm going to talk about how I have this, I'm going to say issue. I don't know if it's a fear, problem, um, this mindset that I don't like disrespect. I don't feel like I should be disrespected because I don't give disrespect out. So that's a big one for me. That's a huge trigger. It could be somebody cutting me off in traffic, someone over talking me. I can be walking behind someone in a store and they don't hold the door. It's not that I'm gonna necessarily react, but it triggers me. It boils my blood. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It infuriates me. It because I'll even, let's say I don't say anything. I'm not going to necessarily say something. Probably if I know you, I'll say something, but strangers no. But let's say I'm walking behind a stranger in a store and they just let the door, close in front of me or whatever, and I have to grab it. If I see them again in the store, I'm giving them a dirty look. I'm looking at them crazy. I'm I don't know. I just, it's an ugly habit. It's an ugly characteristic of mine, personality trait. It's a flaw. I'm definitely, asking the Lord to heal me from that, to help me not be so quick to be angered, to be annoyed, to love people, even if they treat me bad, to still show kindness. So, this is something I've been working on for a while. I'm not delivered, because sometimes I give into my flesh and I allow myself to get easily angered or annoyed because I feel like, why did you disrespect me? Why were you, unkind to me? But it really comes from a core need to feel valued and seen most of the time. When someone dismisses, let's say, your idea, or maybe your partner forgets something you asked them to do, sometimes your immediate reaction isn't sadness, it's most of the time anger or frustration. That flash of rage is your inner self screaming, hey, you can't treat me this way because I matter. I know for me, I feel like I wasn't heard in a conversation. My defenses shoot up immediately. I put a wall up. I'm guarded. I'm ready for war. I get short and snippy. I get a little prickly. But the surface anger isn't the problem. The root is the belief that my boundaries aren't strong enough or that I have to fight to be valuable. The victory here isn't getting them to respect me, it's remembering that I'm worthy of respect regardless of their behavior. And then I can choose a calm response, not a furious reaction to how they responded. I can't allow people to change me. I have to stay grounded. If I really am asking and praying for the Lord to help me be good, help me be kind, help me to have a loving heart, then I have to be that person. I have to practice for what I'm praying for. I can't allow the world and people, negative people, angry people, hostile people affect me and change me and make me like them, because then I'm no better and then I'm not growing. And then let's talk about the root cause. Another one, like the fear of failure. And this is a sneaky one. This one can mask itself in so many ways. It shows up as paralyzing procrastination. We don't start the project because if we don't start, we can't fail, right? It shows up as frantic perfectionism, where you work yourself sick because a less than perfect result means you are less than a perfect person. Oh, I'll start that YouTube channel. Or I'll go ahead and start content creating. First, let me buy my mic. Oh, let me buy my light. Oh, let me buy my laptop. And then I need the perfect microphone. I need the perfect table. I need no. Oh, I'll start that business. Let me do I'm doing all this research for 2 years and no. Oh, I'll start reading the Bible. I'll get closer to the Lord and build my relationship with the Lord. But then we put it off. We do what we want to do. And we tell God, wait, as if we know when our last breath will be. Excuse me. This trigger is activated when we attach our worth to our performance, the fear of failure. For example, if I mess up a cooking attempt, my immediate emotion and reaction might be this wave of anxiety followed by self criticism. That's the fear of failure showing up. I'm not afraid of burning the food. I'm afraid that burning the food proves I'm not a good cook. I'm not good at this. The emotional self care here is learning to tell yourself, my worth is not tied to this outcome. I am valuable whether this succeeds or fails. When we believe this, the anxiety loses its grip and we can actually move forward peacefully. Another root cause can be that need for control, and that's a common one. This is the safety blanket we grab when the world feels too big and too chaotic. When we feel that surge of panic because the plans got canceled or our coworker did something completely different than what we discussed. That emotional reaction is your safety blanket being ripped away. You get frantic, you get snappy, you get frustrated, annoyed, because your brain believes that if you just control this one external thing, you'll be safe. But the truth is, we have very little control over external things. We only have control over our response. And that is so real. We can't control how other people will respond, how they think. We can't change how they grew up, what they experience, what they say, what they do. We can only control how we respond, what we say, and what we think, and what we believe to be truth. I had a huge realization about this one. Something big in my life had happened unexpectedly, of course, as they always do. I panicked. I tried to fix it, but the real self care was stopping and saying, I cannot control this outcome. I can only control how I treat myself and how I treat others in this moment or that day. Surrender what you can't change, and suddenly the frantic feeling begins to melt away. And you know that saying, this too shall pass. That's true. It's just moment, it's a monetary thing. We don't have to respond to every situation in a hasty way, a quick tempered way, an irrational way. We have to think things out and think about the consequences, think about how somebody else might respond. It's a lot to it when we aren't level headed and when we jump out the box. So I'm going to challenge us this week. Let's practice the deep, beautiful work of emotional self care. It's harder than a bubble bath, but it's so much more rewarding. When the emotion hits you, remember, pause, name it, and ask why. Is it the fear of disrespect? Is it the fear of failure or the need for control? The victory isn't in never feeling these things because we're human, we will. It's in choosing to respond from a place of insight and peace, and especially wisdom, not just a frantic reaction. Let's get our emotional houses in order this week. You absolutely have the strength to do this. We all have the strength to do this. And the thing about it is, we don't have to do it on our own because we have a God that we can go to and ask for strength in Him to be a person of peace, be a person of self control, be a person of kindness, be a person that responds with godly wisdom, be a person of humility and compassion. Take away our anger and our frustrations and our need for control and our fear of failure. Ask Him to take that away and heal those broken areas and make us strong. So we definitely have help. We definitely can't do it on our own. It's bigger than we think. And He's always there waiting to help us. He wants to heal us. He wants us to love others. He wants us to be kind. That's a fruit of the spirit, the love, the joy, the peace, the patience, the faithfulness, the self-control, the goodness, the kindness, the gentleness. Those come from Christ. So this week, this upcoming week, let's challenge ourselves. Let's get our emotions in order. Let's balance our emotions. Let's not respond. Let's not show, our hand. Let's think before we respond. Thanks for coloring with me.